Today is really great to have Anne from Meta Gamma Delta joining us, telling the story. Would you, Anne, can you give an introduction of what DAO is about?
Sure. So Meta Gamma Delta, I'm actually fairly new to it. It was founded at East Denver in 2019, or 2020, I think. By a group of women who really wanted to create a DAO that would be supportive of women, that would help women enter the space, that would be fairly like social and egalitarian and would help support women. And 3 or 4 people started it. I actually only joined this year in February, and but they impressed me a lot because they had raised, I don't know, $30,000 in their first year and given that to women-led projects.
That's great.
So they actually raised money and gave grants. And I had an organization called The Rabbit Hole in 2019 where we organized meetups in LA.
For sure.
Then there was a global pandemic, so that happened. And when I really heard about what they were doing, I thought they're just doing the work that needs to be done, that, a bunch of us are just planning and thinking about how we could do it and when we could do it and how would it work. And they just went out and already did it.
Yeah.
Really amazing young women, a lot of whom work in DAOs or work in DeFi. And I was super impressed. So I just joined the DAO and started volunteering, and I've been really happy that I did it.
So cool.
Yeah.
But your journey started way early, right? With the Moloch DAO. What's your personal journey that's really get you onto the DAO journey?
I don't know. I've been saying this today. I realized, I started going down the rabbit hole in 2014. Wow. I started buying Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And not because I'm a genius and I knew it was going to be amazing. I just thought, this is interesting. I want to, I don't get it. I don't understand. How do you buy it? Where is it? So I started buying it $50 at a time, feeling pretty sure that I was just throwing away $50.
Right.
But $50 for a tenth of a Bitcoin obviously worked out better than I imagined. And then over the time I started going to meetups, because at a certain point I thought, I just need to know some other people and learn about this. Yeah. And then in 2019 I started holding meetups for other people, and especially ours were just created by women, but anybody could come. They were really friendly and meant to just bring people in. So actually we had lots of men because everybody wants a friendly introduction, and it's okay if you don't know a lot about this.
Very cool.
So we did that all of 2019, and then I did pandemic work for a daytime TV show during the pandemic, some pandemic safety work, which is a story for another time, but work I'm really, really proud of. And then I kind of came out of that fog and started working on Meta Gamma Delta. And then I was introduced to Moloch DAO as a group that needed help, and so I started doing some work with Moloch DAO as well. Yeah. And now I'm here at this DAO event, and I see so much potential and possibility. So I think so the thing about the rabbit hole was, I think I started going down the rabbit hole, and I always envisioned the rabbit hole as having all these different rooms and all these things going on, and you could just keep exploring. But now I went down a rabbit hole inside the rabbit hole.
Exactly.
DAOs is a whole other deep rabbit hole, and I'm loving it. I love it. I'm really excited about it.
You also mentioned about women and education. What's your thesis about how to really not just bring more people to the space, but actually educating them, if not empowering some of the groups?
Yeah, I think there are a few things are going on, but I think it's a complicated topic. But one of the things is just making spaces that are welcoming. Really, not only women, but just all kinds of newcomers will benefit from this, and all kinds of diversity. Women are not always coming in feeling like Like you come into a meetup, for instance, it's all guys, they're all developers, they're all talking about something really intense, and you don't really understand anything, and you do just kind of feel like, oh, this is not really for me. And they're not closing you out, but they're also don't even know they're not inviting you in, right? So I think inviting people in benefits everybody in all kinds of ways, and that's an important part. I also think, I'm taking Consensus Developer Bootcamp, and I was given a scholarship to do that, which is incredible. I'm so grateful for it.
Right.
But the funny thing about it is I have this thing about how women may not always perceive themselves as being ready to take on a scholarship, right? Or to take on a technical education program.
Yep.
And there needs to be some bridging in there. And then I got a scholarship, and I almost turned it down because exactly the same. I felt like I wasn't ready. And other people were like, you're going to be fine.
For sure.
And just try it. And then I realized I'm doing what everybody else is doing, which is just, not everybody else, but I'm doing what I've said other women are doing, which is to just assess my skills to, I don't know if it's too low or too high. We'll see how I do on the class. But I just had to be more brave about it. And then I thought that's what other people need, is this sort of encouragement. And so, in some cases, maybe prep. Like, I think newcomers don't always know things like, if you want to take a developer class, you should contribute to repos on GitHub, that kind of thing. Like, people will sort of accept you and help you the more you're active. And that might not be apparent to you. So learning some of those skills could prepare people and, you know, women and other kinds of newcomers for a truffle class or a consensus class or whatever. So, but it was funny because I've thought about that for a long time, and then myself was thinking, it's too hard for me.
Well, now this is a good time.
So I had to break out of the mindset. And
it's incredible that you have been in this community for so long, knowing all the product, if not the project. You also know JavaScript even before that. And getting over the hurdle of actually building it now.
I'm learning. I think in the class, the JavaScript part is the challenging part. I have some, but not a lot. But the blockchain stuff, that hashing and cryptography, that stuff I'm more I don't know everything, but I'm well equipped to understand it. I have a lot of time in. And, this entire time I've had a full-time kind of intense job as a television producer of a daytime soap opera. So all of my work up till now has really just been on the side. As everybody does. Everybody just learns and pushes into it until
and that's what DAO is, such a flexible way of engaging.
Oh my God. I love DAO. I just think the DAO thing could be a really revolutionary. What do you think? Do you think that DAOs will be a revolutionary
that's the question I was about to pop. In a year, what do you think the whole space you're wishing it that can achieve? Right, like this week is amazing, right? Do you see not just a trend, but you want to help push the whole industry that, hey, let's talk more about that, so that DAO in a year will be something that you are hoping it to be?
I mean, I hope the whole DAO space I hope it becomes kind of like the NFT thing. I mean, I think NFTs have been overhyped and then predictably kind of less hyped, and people hate it. But in the end, NFTs have a long tail. Like NFTs and all the evolution of what NFTs are going to be will be around for a long time. So if you're in it for the long haul, it's going to be good. I think potentially DAOs could go through that sort of overhype, underhype, but then we're all going to be there if you care about it, you're going to be in there for the long haul, whether people love it or hate it on the day.
Definitely underhype for now. And you asked me, so I have to really pop my answer as well, that Harmony is committed to launching 100 DAO. We have 300 million fund that we really want to bootstrap many of these DAO to be like very independent community initiative products. That's my wish, right? Like if even a project like us can launch 100 DAO, there will be literally 1,000 DAOs in coming months. What are the community that can help bring more people in, educating them, building tools so that scale. Obviously, Opolis, DAO House, all the friends here that can help the onboarding much easier is what I'm thinking.
Because you're cross-chain, and so you can work in all different structures, right?
Exactly.
So I think that's interesting, and I think like right now, Meta Gamma Delta is really the only DAO that I know of that is really, and there might be another one, but we have this position as being focused on supporting projects by women and doing grants for that and educating women. And so I think there's a ton of space to grow in all of your, because the main thing about that is it needs to exist in every DAO, right? Like there doesn't only need to be a women DAO, there needs to be a financial DAO that has women and
Exactly, great initiative. So that's my last question too. How can Harmony be helpful to Meta Gamma Delta so that it's not about which chain, which platform, which layers, but to actually helping community that you guys care about?
I mean, I think it's probably two things, and one is education. We don't do that much formal education. We have calls every 2 weeks with our community, and other people can come. So I think, at some point, if you guys would like to talk about this cross-chain concept and what you guys are doing, I think that could be interesting. I think we do have men in the DAO. We have some ratio of women to men that I don't exactly know what it is. But if you have some women on your team that you'd like to join the DAO, I think that's another thing. And ultimately, if you want to fund initiatives where we find projects with women or find appropriate matches with women, I feel like Meta Gamma Delta could
That's a great way to put
that.
it. Both whether sponsoring the camps, but also matching any initiative you guys have, but actually take it to the next level and more inclusive.
It's like aligned incentives. Like, we're creating a new DAO about this, and we're going to educate people, and we want to make sure, because I do think honestly that women respond when they see other women. It's not the only thing that we respond to, but if you see a good mix of women on your calls, when you have community calls for a new DAO, and you have a good mix of women, that helps invite other women in. And so I think there could be alignments in some of your new DAOs.
And you guys are spectacular hosts, not just about this MCON, but the party yesterday. You feel that you really want to bring the people together.
I was so happy. It's really my happy place, and I imagined a party that would be basically like the right people, the right number of people, exactly the right place, and because everybody was talking to each other, everybody was networking. It wasn't one of those parties where you stand around with a glass of wine and, everybody got greeted.
Then I need to ask the bonus question then. You have been like a producer and for a TV show. How to get people really to open up and talk about their dreams and really like open conversations? Are there tips for like all the DAO people to be at that level?
People love to talk about their hopes and dreams and like what's stuck inside them or where they're, what they can't talk about in a traditional workplace or whatever. I mean, you're doing it right now. You're just asking me. That's what works. Like you ask people, and you know what? The other part of that is the sincere listening. Right? You're really listening. You ask me, and then you're listening. That's all I ever do is just remember to ask people questions, and then remember to listen to them.
I will.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much, Anne. Thanks for coming here with us.
Happy to do that. Thank you. Thanks for asking me.
Thank you again.